Welcome back. Interest in the US presidential debates shows no sign of fizzing out. Nelson measured the viewership of the latest Republican clash and says 13.5 million people watched it on Fox Business Network, breaking a record for that channel. Andrew Spencer has the highlights.
Fox Business agreed to give the candidates equal time, but that didn't stop some of them from fighting over it.
Let me say a couple things here. First of all, you should let Jeb speak. We have grown. No, it's unfair. In the state of Ohio.
Governor.
Hold on.
Governor Bush.
Thank you, Donald, for allowing me to speak at the debate. That's really nice of you. Really appreciate that. What a generous man you are.
The moderators didn't press Ben Carson on questions about his past.
Thank you for not asking me what I said in the 10th grade. I appreciate that. But,
I'll just forget that follow-up there.
But the intentional differentiation from the CNBC debate did not mean candidates went unchallenged.
You can't seriously guarantee that there won't be another financial crisis, can you?
If you could, if you were serious about...
Ever? There'll never be another financial crisis?
No, I can't say that, but I can say if you created higher capital requirements, that's the solution to this.
For the most part, political attacks didn't get personal in Milwaukee Tuesday night. The clashes instead focusing on policy.
I know that Rand is a committed isolationist. I'm not. I believe the world is a stronger and a better place when the United States is the strongest military power in the world.
Marco, how is it conservative? How is it conservative to add $1 trillion expenditure for the federal government that you're not paying for?
Some candidates pushed for a flat tax and talked about simplifying the tax code.
There are more words in the IRS code than there are in the Bible, and not a one of them is as good.
And, of course, balancing the federal budget.
We need to go to zero-based budgeting, so we know where every dollar is being spent. We can challenge any dollar, cut any dollar, move any dollar.
And many of them rejected calls to raise the minimum wage. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Let's now discuss the winners and losers of the debate. Joining us now from Washington is Nia-Malika Henderson. She's a CNN senior political reporter. Thanks for being with us. Now, Jeb Bush today gave himself his own approval, saying he did well. Who do you think were the standouts?
Jeb, I think probably a B, and I think in some ways it was a status quo debate. A lot of people came in at a certain level, and I think they ended up the debate in the same way. Marco Rubio, I think, did well. Ted Cruz did well. Donald Trump did well. Even Rand Paul had his standout moment. So I think it's almost like B's all around. I don't think this is going to shake up the race that much. I think it was pretty much a status quo debate, and they got to talk about policy, which I think they all enjoyed and liked, especially when you considered their upset after the other debate.
That's true. They weren't too happy about that one. And of course, we've heard so much about Donald Trump and Ben Carson, but what about other candidates like Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, who are perhaps less known on the international stage, but who are vying for that moderate conservative vote?
That's right. I think they are the dark horses of this race. The rationale being that people like Ben Carson and people like Donald Trump will likely see something of a downward trend in terms of their poll numbers. So here we have two senators, young senators, both Cuban Americans, both have a sort of an immigrant story, but very much on different ideological lines in terms of what they would do about immigration reform and all sorts of things. So you saw them in some ways up there on that debate stage last night. You had a whole discussion between the senators in the field. So I think if you flash forward a couple of months from now, you're going to see them very much hanging in there and vying for very particular lanes of the Republican Party, one on the establishment end and another on the Tea Party end. Ted Cruz, of course, the Tea Party guy, and Marco Rubio, more of the establishment choice.
Okay, Nia-Malika Henderson, thanks for staying across it all for us in Washington.
Thank you.
Now, still to come after the break, we ask a British lawmaker if the World Athletics chief is the right man to lead the sport out of the latest doping scandal. Stay with us.